Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's presentation. My name is Luis Rubio. I'm one of the members of the team, the YABT. Let me start with thanking you guys for being here today. Today's presentation will be in the framework of the TIC Americas 2022 in the Eco Challenge 2022. This presentation is provided thankful for our partners, OAS, the Organization of American States, and PepsiCo Latin America. So let me go ahead and explain a little bit of the presentation. Today, the presentation in this session will be about practical guide to create or improve your deliverables. Let me go ahead and explain a little bit of the dynamics as well. I will be presenting to you all the content. And then at the end, we'll have a Q&A session in which you will be able to ask me questions regarding the content that we'll be explaining today and your project in the Eco Challenge 2022. Please, before we get to start, I want to thank everybody from Facebook Live that is watching us, and remember to ask using the chat that you have available, and I will explain the dynamics of the Q&A session when we get to that point of the presentation. Again, thank you for being here today, and let's begin. Okay, so let's start with the content a little bit. We start with benefits of participating in the Eco Challenge. Then we will go to explain the deliverables, in which we will explain the business plan, how to make a good business plan for your project. Then we will talk about website and online presence. And then we will also talk about Canvas business model. And then at the end, as I mentioned earlier, we will have a Q&A session in which you will be able to ask questions regarding our content that I just explained or that I will explain in today. Let me go ahead and go to the next one. So benefits of participating in the Eco Challenge. This is really important because what we're trying to do here is help you guys to take your project to the next level. So, and how we do it? Well, I'm about to explain it right now. So we have a lot of benefits and depending on the stage that you get, you will be receiving more and more. So for starting with all participants, we'll have feedback from international experts. So your project will be reviewed by international experts from different areas, and they will give you feedback in order to have a better project entrepreneur or whatever business that you're trying to do. You will also have access to bootcamp. What is a bootcamp? It's an online training program and that offers tools and resources to entrepreneurs of this hemisphere, and provided by the YABT. It's completely free. I will please recommend you guys to go ahead and visit the website, YABT Bootcamp, in which you will be able to see all the recorded sessions that we have available. And in that way, you can also have, learn a little bit more about different areas from different experts around the world that will help you to get your project to the next level. And then you will also have access to the TIC Americas Alumni Network, which is a pretty huge network of people, entrepreneurs around the hemisphere that will allow you to receive emails, communications regarding new projects, new competitions, and everything related to the TIC Americas and YABT. If you're a finalist, which congratulations, you get to that point, you will have all the above benefits mentioned before. But you will also get exclusive business trainings with experts from around the world, as we mentioned before, personalized mentoring. So you will be assigned a mentor for your project. So he will help you through the process to take your entrepreneurship, your business, your project to the next level. This is really important. And this is why we want you guys to participate a lot, because this is where you actually get to have that personalized mentoring, which is really hard to get nowadays somewhere else. And then we'll also have feedback from international experts. They will review your project and give you the best recommendations that they can give you in order to have, as I mentioned earlier, a really good and complete project and succeed in the future. Now let's go on to the winners. So this is a really important part as well, although the most important part for us is the benefits that I mentioned about, but this is really important. This is where we help you guys to begin or continue with that project. And thanks to our partners, PepsiCo and OAS, we'll be having two different prizes for the winners. So we will have the first team that wins, the winner of the competition will receive $10,000 in seed capital for your project. And the second team will receive $5,000 as a seed capital as well. And you will also have post-final follow-up in order to make sure your project continues on the right path to succeed, in case you need help, make sure your project goes to the right path. As I mentioned earlier, this is really important because we want you guys to succeed. Now let's go on to this important question that we got right here is, where do entrepreneurs get to? This is really important because I want you guys to be inspired. I want you guys to know that there's possibilities. I want you guys to dream, to keep innovating, to keep looking for answers. So let me explain a little bit of the people that we have right here. So on the first one on the left, in the left corner, we got a entrepreneur from one of the TIC Americas alumni. Her name is Mariana Costa Checa, and she was in a panel with Mark Zuckerberg and former President Barack Obama. On the right corner, upper corner, we got two finalists from the TIC Americas alumni as well, two finalists from the TIC Americas, being interviewed by CNN. Then on the bottom corner, on the right, we have a finalist and TIC Americas alumni, 2019, presenting his project to Colombia's First Lady, Maria Juliana Ruiz. And then thanks to our partners, PepsiCo, one of the finalists from the Eco Challenge, his name is Jeronimo Batista. He had the opportunity to participate in the documentary by Nat Geo and PepsiCo called Planet Love, in which he explained about his project, his business, and what he's trying to do and where he's trying to get. It's really interesting. I recommend you guys to watch it. So what I'm trying to say with this is keep dreaming, keep working hard, and you will see in the future all the rewards of being an entrepreneur, and see that everybody can do it. And it's hard work, be prepared. And it all starts with a good business plan. It all starts with a good online presence, and it all starts with a good business canvas. So that's why it's important to have this session today. Now let's go on to what we actually, the most important part of the presentation, which is what you must deliver for the competition. So for Eco Challenge 2022, you must deliver a business plan or a business project, which proposes a solution to one of the challenges. You will also need to submit a business model canvas summarizing the plan in just one page. And then you will also need to have a website or internet presence. It doesn't have to be a website necessarily. It can be a Facebook page as well, but we'll talk about this later on in the session. So let's start with the business plan. The business plan is really important, and it's a step-by-step guide to entrepreneurship, and it is constantly adapting depending on the stage of the venture. It has different components, and we're going to talk about all of them today. So we're going to start with the executive summary. I will explain a little bit about it. We're going to talk about innovation. We're going to talk about market feasibility, administrative feasibility, and financial feasibility. Let's start with the executive summary. It has to be concise. It's important to remember this is the first part of the project that's going to be read. So it has to be concise. It has to be summarize everything that is important. So we, in this case, we have mix or combine a series of questions in which you will need to answer it. I would recommend answer them first, and then make the summary, the executive summary, at the end. Usually, we recommend these questions for in this scenario, in this competition, but try to use this later on and see how you can make a good executive summary in case you need to do it in the future. This is the last part of the business plan, remember? And as I said again, please answer the questions and then come up with the executive summary. So let's talk about innovation. This is one of the most important parts of the project, because in this part, you'll see how are you, what is the value proposition of your project or business? How are you getting to the next level? How are you changing the environment that you're actually living in, or the market, you know? So let's start explaining a little bit. So the details. So how are we gonna, first you gotta answer the question, how they're different from other ventures in the market? What makes your project different? That's a value proposition. You gotta come up with that question, because that way, you know, if there's market feasibility, if you know if your project will work or not, because it's pretty much of the same, it's gonna be hard to compete with other new businesses. So later you have how they improve a product, service sector, or demand. That's another important question. I would recommend this to answer in bullet points, so you will have a good understanding of how innovating your business is. And then you have to answer one of the two questions that we got right here. Is your project or business or entrepreneurship incremental innovation, which means are you improving something? Is your project changing a little bit or improving some of the situations that you're living or that you see that might be better? Or is it radical, disruptive innovation, which is something completely new, something that no one's ever seen before? So that basically this radical or disruptive innovation, the customer really doesn't know about it. There's no market. So it's it might be a little bit hard, but this disrupting or radical innovations tend to have a better future, tend to be more successful. But again, it's new. I would recommend take whatever you believe is right for you. If you want to change something, please feel free. That's the importance of this. So we also got to do the implement presence, something new, different from exciting knowledge process or technologies. As I mentioned earlier, are you changing something? Are you changing a new technology that currently exists? And all that kind of things. And then the patents. Do you have a patent? Is there a prototype in your product? Do you offer like an actual product or an actual machine or an actual process that might need patented in order to have value and make sure no one steals from you? And then the last part is reach. What we're trying to say with reach is how innovative your project is and how reachable it is. How many people are you going to impact? How many people will be benefiting from this project? So that's kind of the questions you need to answer while innovating, while solving these innovation questions that we got right here. So let's go on to the market feasibility. So this is really important because this way you know how feasible your project is, how big the market is for you, and how will you impact that market. So you need to demonstrate the need and demand for your product. You need to offer a solution or initiative in the target market. So you need to please provide a service and product description in your business plan. In that way, you will know, and the people reading your business plan will know exactly who you're targeting. Then you will do the market research and target market. So then in this, you answer this question. Is there a market? Yes, no, where? What is it like? What does it respond to? Is there anyone who will be hired by invest in you? This is really important because investors or everybody that reads or go through your business plan needs to know who are you targeting, how are you going to impact their lives, and that you need to specify on the business plan because it's really important for people reading it. It's really important for you to identify that market. We keep going on market feasibility. So you gotta also have a competitive advantage that your venture has comparing to your competition. What are the benefits? A SWOT analysis would be good. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and also that will be a really good way to do it. You need to understand what you do better than your competitor. Is it price? Is it customer service? Is it you need to have that competitive advantage that will make your project shine among the others. Then we have you need to define the product and or service valuation strategy. That way is how you're going to reach that market. How could be the best way to reach the market? And then you also have a logo design. Who are you? This part is literally really important because it's the first picture that people will have about your company. So it's the first impression. So that represents your company. Your logo is one of the most important things because nowadays people actually, when they see the logo, they will have either, will I buy it? Is the logo good enough? So it's pretty important. It will determine a lot of your success as well. So it's pretty important to have a good logo and that represents the value of your company. Then you will get to the promotion and advertising campaign. In this part, you need to define your tools, advertising campaign and promotion channels to bring your value proposition to the target audience. And then you need to also understand, and this is really important in your business plan, and explain and understand, as I mentioned, that markets are changing, flexible and adaptable. How are you going to adapt to the new markets? How are you going to adapt to the constant changes that we're having all around the world every single day? It's really important. I would recommend you guys explain this as well in bullet points and then come up with the best answer for all these parts of market feasibility, each one of these, because this will help you to really be competitive, and people who read your business plan will be or will know exactly what you guys are trying to do. Then we'll go to administrative feasibility. This is really important as well. Everything from the business plan is really important because it's a benchmark, is where your project starts, the description, and it's where you're gonna go next. And that's the path that you need to follow later on in order to succeed. That's why you have to be very detailed, very honest, and make the research, the necessary research to come up with the answers and be precise and follow the right path. So administrative feasibility. More important is the management by the idea. This is really important too. The team that is able to execute will be more successful than the team that have an idea. What we're trying to say with this is that you might have a good idea, but if you don't have the right people, if you don't have the right colleagues working for the same idea, it might not even work. So it's really important to have a stable team that will execute better, even though the idea might not be that good, but they will execute. And that will be really important, because without executing, nothing happens. So what are we trying to say? What are you going to describe this on the business plan? Okay, so you got to have a mission. You got to describe your vision. And you need to have strategic objectives. This way, you will define the value and the mission and vision, as I mentioned, of your project. It's really important to define it, because it's where you want to go, how you're going to do it, and who you're going to do it with. So also you got to explain the team and its roles, as I mentioned, their functions and responsibilities. As we mentioned before, it's really important to have a really complete team. This will help you to get your startup, your business, your project to the next level. If you execute with the team, with the right team, you can get further and further, as we mentioned in the team and earlier with the entrepreneurs. They have the right team, they have the right people with them, and they execute. And that's really important. You also gotta describe the alliances that you're having, your key partners, and all that, in order to make sure to see how feasible is a project. People who read the business plan would like to know who is involved in the project. That way they will know if they want to invest or not. Legal constitution of the business, and all the legal stuff, register LLC, LS, all that kind of like legal constitution that will determine what type of business is yours. And then you also need to have, in case you have a product that you need to make a product, how we work and with what machinery, spaces, assets. It's really important to have that to make sure your project is feasible. You need to describe what are you using to come up with that product. And then at the end, you will also need the online presence. This is really important for people or entrepreneurs that are offering a service to people, that are offering a subscription-based type of business. So it's really important to have online presence, and most importantly, if it's your way to get to the clients. Okay. Now we're going to the financial feasibility, and this will actually help in the business plan how feasible is your product or your business financially. This will help the investor to know if it's good or not, if it's a good or not investment. It's really important to have a very detailed financial, financial statements in your project. So how do you demonstrate that? Okay, so we usually use different financial statements. First is the balance sheet, then the cash flow and profit and loss statements. So if there's no financial background, you might as well share the financial statements for the first 5 years of your project. We'll go on to the questions later on this one. You need to assume what are the direct and indirect costs and general assumptions. Is it human cost, material cost, technical, and financial? How are you gonna make that project work? How much money you need? You need capital need analysis for initial investment. So this is the most important part. This is where you actually get to know how much money you're gonna need for your project. And then you need to have a projected investment strategy for the next 12 months. I would recommend this doing it on an Excel sheet, which will be easier to explain all the financial statements and your investment strategy and the projected financial statements for the future. Now let's go on to the online presence. This is really important too. This is how the people are going to know about you. This is people are going to see your company and believe and be aware that the company exists. It's really important to have online presence. So you better have social media, tailor-made websites, and content management systems, because people will they value this this stuff a lot. It's important to explain where your business are, where your business is, and where the social media, where to find you, and how to find you. So as I mentioned, key points of social media. So it's important to have clear, frequent content. You need to understand your brand identity and provide value. It's really important. You also need to have a call to action button, make people easier, make things easier for people. So just press a button, take them to your website, take them to your Instagram profile, Facebook profile, buy or know a little bit more about your business. This is really important. Make sure to create a community, people who are interested in your business, on your product, in your solution, in your service, and boost interaction. Interact with them. People nowadays like businesses that interact with you. So you need to explain all of this. How are you going to do it in the business plan? How are you going to explain your contact? How you're going to create community? How are you going to boost interaction? It's really important. And then you define all of this in a marketing plan. We'll be answering the questions regarding marketing plan later on, but you need to define this in a marketing plan. And then you will also need a website. What do you need about a website? So you need an attractive and design and a clear message. It's important to have a responsive experience so people can actually get into the website through mobile devices, tablet, and PC. You need to have sub pages in which you explain a little bit of your product, a little bit of your business, your mission and values that you explained before. Product, services, content, gallery, whatever you feel is right, whatever you feel is needed to make a good impression to the customer. You need to have a website and make sure the performance is good, that it doesn't have a lot of lag or some things like that. And you need to leverage free tools in which they can actually access a little bit or interact with your product a little bit. This is really important. People value a lot websites and social media nowadays, so it's important to be there. So please feel free to explain, answer the questions, how you're going to do it, where, how will be the best way to do it for you. And then we, in case you go to the next one, we'll provide guidance on how to help you make a better social media website or financial statements and everything. So let me explain a little bit about the Canvas business model that we got right here. Usually the Canvas business model goes from right to left. It starts in the middle. So in the middle to the left, you have internal. You need to answer the internal key aspects of your business. And then from center to right, you need to answer the external aspects of your business. So let's start with the customer segments. In this part, you define who is your customer. It's really important to define it. This is your business plan summarized. So this is really important because most people are going to read this. It has to be easy. It has to be concise. It has to be precise. So first of all, you need to answer the customer segment. Who's your customer? Customer profiles, define your customer, and all that kind of stuff that I mentioned earlier. Then the value proposition. What is your company doing differently? Is it innovating? Is it creating a new product? Is it creating a new service? It's really important to understand and put the value proposition. Then we're going to go through the channels. Channels are really important. This is the way how you're going to get to that customer. For example, if you have a product, would you be dealing with the final customer? Or would you be selling to wholesalers and then you'll be, you will be selling to someone that's going to sell your product? Or will you be providing a service? You have indirect sales and direct sales, and then some people, depending on your product, depending on your service, might use Facebook as their channel to get to the customers, Instagram, Twitter, or this kind of new websites, social media, and everything that we have. Then you need to have customer relationship. In here, you get to explain how are you going to deal with that customer, how the experience will be. Will you have WhatsApp? How will they contact you? How you provide assistant customer service to your customer. This is really important because this is the way a customer will be like, this is where you're going to explain how they're going to feel about your product and provide guidance and help regarding your product and how will you be satisfying their needs. Then you need to, in number 5 down there, you need to answer the revenue streams. How are you going to get the money? Will you be, again, selling to people directly? Would you be selling? Would you be a wholesaler? Would you offer a membership? Would you offer a subscription? Would you offer, this is important to be very precise and detailed. So whoever is reading your Canvas will be able to understand how are you going to make money, which is one of the most important parts of business plan and the Canvas. Then we go to key resources. What would we mean by the key resources? Okay, key resources are what you're going to need to run the daily operations of your business. So administrative people, human capital, how many people are you gonna need, what machinery do you need? Do you need trucks? Do you need computers? Do you need softwares? So this is the key resources that will help you to run the business on a daily basis. Really important. Then we got key activities. So these key activities will help you to determine how are you gonna run the operations. This is the most important part. So is we're gonna have a step by step. How's it gonna be? So you sell the product, and then that product will be going to accounting, and that accounting will send it to the manager of the sales team, and then it's explain the business process, the sales process that you will have when selling your product or for a membership. So in that way, the person who is reading your business canvas will know exactly how you're gonna do that part of the process. Then one of the most important part is key partners. In this way, people, investors will know who is invested, how important your product will be, and if they believe in your product, your business, your service. Really important to have this one very detailed. It could be if you win YABT, PepsiCo, or whoever is investing in your company that has a renowned name. Really important to create confidence in investors. And then cost structure. Basically, in the cost structure, what would you need to do is explain a little bit of the cost that you will have: human capital, machinery, overhead cost. These all type of things that will represent a cost and how you're gonna afford to run your business and what do you need to run your business. So this is pretty much a little bit of everything. It's really important to you guys understand how to write a business plan, how to have a canvas, an online presence. Now we're gonna go on to the Q&A session, right, in which you will be able to ask questions. Let me explain a little bit about it. If you want to use the microphone, just raise your hand, and then we'll be allowing you to have the microphone. If you just want to write down the questions, please feel free to write it, and I'll be answering the questions, and we'll be more than happy to help you guys. We'll also be part of the team helping me answering the questions. So in case I won't be able to, I won't read it, or in case I skip it, he will be for sure answering all your doubts regarding the presentation and how to write a business plan or a canvas. Okay, so let me see. Okay, hey, can I present an app as a web present? So I would recommend for the app for Lucas. Yes, an app is acceptable. Well, they answer your questions right here. In case you got any questions, feel free to ask them. I'll be more than happy to help you guys with your business plan, canvas model, and online web presence. You can go ahead right now and ask questions, do the questions on the chat, and let me know if you need anything for now. Our team will be answering your questions on the chat. So yes, Lucas, do you have any special recommendation for me to create my first website? So we might have one of the guys right here from IT helping us to talk about web online presence. But yeah, so what we can do for online presence, I would recommend using, if you don't have any idea, starting with Facebook pages. Are really easy to use, really easy to create. So you can have like an online presence for your website, and create this social media. You also have there's a lot of companies that do easy to use software websites like Wix or like Shopify, things like that you will have an easy access to create a website without knowing how to code. But I would recommend starting with a Facebook page. It's the easiest way to have an online presence, and it will be really important, to have that presence when presenting your product, your software, your app to your investors. It's really important to have that presence at least. Okay, if there's no more questions, feel free to follow us on social media, Twitter YABTs, Facebook YABTDC, Instagram YABTDC as well. And then if you have any questions regarding the presentation, business plan, business canvas, Okay, Lucas, let me see. A second. So I don't really have like a special recommendation. If you already have a Facebook profile, which is really good, I'm happy you have online presence. I would recommend going if you don't have any previous knowledge on coding. I would recommend going to some of these companies. Like I know there's a couple of them called like Wix. Yeah, GoDaddy, Wix. Those are really good. I have previous experience with Wix. It was not really hard to come up with your own site. Wix is really good. GoDaddy, all of them are really good. My easiest one for me was Wix, so I would recommend trying that one in case you want to try it. I know they have like a subscription and you need to buy your domain, but Wix is really easy. GoDaddy is really good too. But at the end, it's up to you and how you feel with coding. If you don't know how to code, Wix would be a good option for you. Or in case you want to add someone to your team that knows how to code, it will be really good too. And you have, you will have someone that takes care of that part of the project, and you don't need to be worrying about, the online presence. So he will take care of that. That's really important too. Just remember that with Wix, you will also need to have like someone that, or in case you want to do it, you need to design your own website. So you need to have, this creative mindset. So he will help you out, I would recommend finding your own team and make sure to come up with a good online presence. But if you want to try, please feel free. You learn, and I would recommend Wix. Yeah, it's really good. So in case you don't have any more questions, please feel free to ask us anytime to the email tacamericas@yabt.net, or visit our websites yabt.net, www.tacamericas.net English, and www.tacamericas.net Echo Challenge in order to know more about the Echo Challenge 2022. Thank you again for being here today. It was a pleasure to explaining how to do the business plan and the online presence and business canvas. Thank you again for the Organization of American States and PepsiCo for helping us be here today. Remember, the last day to register for the Echo Challenge 2022 is on February 28th. So you still got a couple of days to register your team and win the seed prize capital of $10,000 if you're a project. Again, thank you so much for being here today. Or are you taking into account the ones I already uploaded? Okay, let me check with my team if you can update your deliverables, and I'll give you an answer really quick. So yes, you can actually update your deliverables on the website. So you will have an extended period to do it. So please, if you can do it as soon as you can, you will be able to update them on the registration in your profile, the website. But only if you're registered. If you're not, you need to do it all over again. But if you're ready to register, please feel free to upload your deliverables. Remember that we got a couple more days left until we close the registration. So please upload it as soon as you can, so you will have the best opportunity. You're welcome, Lucas. Thanks so much. I think we'll have a survey in order to make sure we keep updating and making better presentations. So please feel free to answer the survey right here. It will be show up on your screen in a second. Okay, this is not working. Okay, well, I guess it's not working right now. It's no problem with that. Let's yes, Lucas, we're sending this session. We will see available on the YouTube for YABT. As soon as we're done, we're gonna work it out and then upload it. So please feel free to check it out soon. Please fill up the survey so we can keep improving our presentations. Again, thank you so much for being here today. Appreciate you guys being here today. Follow us on social media for any more updates on the Eco Challenge or the other TIC Americas competitions that we have available. In case you need anything else, please feel free to send us an email. And have a great weekend, great day. And remember, until the 28th. Thank you so much.